Hey Kylie, I'm going to help you with your question here. I know you're on the challenge and it does get pretty tricky. What you shared with me was 277 over 1,000 plus 68 over 100. So I'm going to show you how to solve this. And the first thing I want to remind you is you cannot add fractions unless they have that common denominator. So they need to have the same denominator in order to add those fractions up. So what I always look at is the smaller denominator, and 100 is smaller than 1,000. Can I change 100 into 1,000? In other words, make an equivalent fraction, and I can. So I'm going to show you how you make that 68 hundredths, and we're going to make it equivalent, but we want it to have that same denominator of 1,000 over here. So I'm going to change that 68 hundredths to 1,000. And remind you about equivalent fractions. I have to figure out what I'm multiplying by 100 to make 1,000, and I'm multiplying by 10 on that. 100 times 10 is 1,000. If I multiply the denominator by 10, I have to multiply the numerator by 10 in order to make them equivalent, and that would give me a new numerator of 680. So all I'm doing is taking these equivalent fractions. I'm going to take the one with 1,000 and plug it in here so I can add these two together. So now I can take my 277 over 1,000 and add my equivalent fraction, 680 over 1,000, and I can add those together. So the denominator is 1,000. And then all I have to do is add those numerators. I know adding fractions was real simple for you, kiddo. 680, 277. I'm just going to add those together. And I get 957 thousandths. And that's my answer. So just a reminder, you can't add them unless they have a common denominator. But use your knowledge of equivalent fractions to make that common denominator. Then you can add them pretty simply. And you get your answer. Hope that helps, kiddo.